Why does uncertainty make the mind so restless? Nothing bad has happened yet. Nothing is actually wrong in this moment, and still, the mind keeps searching for guarantees. It wants to know what will happen, when it will happen, how it will happen, and when it cannot know. It calls that feeling anxiety. Look closely at your worries. Most of them are not about what is happening. They are about what might happen. What if I fail? What if I lose this? What if things go wrong? The mind creates future scenarios and then reacts to them as if they are real events happening right now. The heart beats faster. The body becomes tense. Sleep becomes difficult. Not because something has happened, but because the mind imagined that it might. The mind does not suffer reality. It suffers imagination, and imagination has no limits. The more intelligent a person is, the more complex their fears become, because intelligence allows the mind to create more detailed future scenarios, more possibilities, more outcomes, more imagined dangers. This is why uncertainty feels so heavy. Not because life is attacking you, but because the mind is trying to predict what cannot be predicted. The mind was designed for survival. In ancient times, uncertainty often meant real danger. Not knowing where food was or where a predator might be hiding could mean death. So the brain learned to predict, plan, and prepare. That ability helped humans survive. But today, the same survival mechanism activates in situations that are not life-threatening. A delayed message, a job interview, a health report, a difficult conversation. The mind reacts as if a tiger is in the room, even though the only threat exists inside thought. The mind believes that if it thinks enough, plans enough, worries enough, it can prevent pain. But thinking is not control. Worrying is not protection. Overthinking does not change the future. It only steals peace from the present. You can control effort. You can control intention. You can control your actions. But outcomes, timing, other people, life never agreed to be controlled. And the mind suffers because it is trying to command what was never in its hands. Ancient wisdom understood this deeply. A simple teaching says, do your duty, release the result, not because results do not matter, but because clinging to them creates fear. When you attach your peace to something that has not happened yet, your mind can never rest. The farmer can plant the seeds, but he cannot command the rain. The warrior can prepare for battle, but he cannot control the outcome. Peace was never promised by certainty. Peace comes from stability within uncertainty. Think of a job interview. Before it happens, the mind imagines failure, embarrassment, rejection, loss. But none of that is real yet. The suffering begins before the event does. Or think about a relationship. One unanswered message can create hours of imagined stories. They don't care. Something is wrong. It's ending. The mind creates a future and reacts emotionally to its own fiction. Uncertainty itself did nothing. The mind's resistance to it created pain. So what happens when you stop demanding certainty? Uncertainty does not disappear. Life remains unpredictable, but fear begins to loosen. You stop asking, what will happen? And start asking, can I remain steady no matter what happens? That shift changes everything, because life was never meant to be predictable. It was meant to be lived. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It is the natural state of life. The real suffering begins when the mind demands promises that reality never made. Peace does not come when the future becomes clear. Peace comes when the mind learns to remain calm, even when it is not. Uncertainty is present in everyday life. Waiting for a reply, waiting for a decision, waiting for results. The mind wants closure. It wants resolution. But life moves in open loops, not closed ones. There will always be something unfinished, something unknown, something beyond control. When the mind accepts this, it stops fighting reality. When the mind resists uncertainty, it tries to tighten control. It replays thoughts. It imagines conversations. It predicts outcomes again and again. But this mental struggle has a cost. Energy drains, sleep suffers, joy disappears, not because life is worse, but because the mind refuses to allow life to unfold naturally. Resistance creates suffering. Acceptance creates space. Peace is not the absence of uncertainty. Peace is the ability to remain steady even when certainty is missing. It is an inner balance, like standing still while the wind moves around you. The wind may not stop, but you do not have to fall. When the mind stops demanding guarantees, it discovers something deeper than certainty. It discovers trust in itself. Uncertainty is not a mistake in life. It is how life stays alive. The mind wants a map for every step, but life is meant to be walked, not predicted. Peace does not come from knowing the future. Peace comes from knowing you can face whatever comes.